the YouTube channel Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 25 NRL tips of 2023. So yeah, look, it's getting close to finals, obviously, and the weeks are getting lesser and lesser with the regular season about to end soon. But yeah, nonetheless, it should be a good round of footy. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I've got a big announcement about this week as well. So this Friday, well, this Thursday, as I'm arriving in New Zealand on Thursday, yeah, I'll be making the trip to New Zealand for the first time. So I'll be over there to watch Manly and the Warriors at Go Media Stadium. But a special name for Friday for the stadium, it's gonna be called the Daniel Anderson Stadium because this week's awareness for the tragic accident he had, and it's going to be a whole donation to him. And yeah, the Warriors have renamed their name temporarily to the Daniel Anderson Stadium. So very loving and very touching act by the Warriors there. So you know, that's nice. But honestly, I'm looking forward to going to New Zealand. It's my first time ever out of Australia. So yeah, that's the dedication I have for the team to travel that far out. So yeah, look, we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it though. Should be a good weekend ahead. But yeah, I'm there for Thursday, Friday, and going home on Saturday evening. So it should be good. But yeah, looking at the games ahead, the first game is Cowboys Sharks on the Thursday. Then you got Manly Warriors, which I'll be at, and then the main game Eels Roosters at CommBank. Saturday looks alright. Tigers Dolphins, Titans Panthers, and Dragons Storm, and then obviously on the Sunday it's Knights Rabbitohs and Raiders and the Bulldogs. So has potential this round, and hopefully it is a good round of footy. Before I do start, please be sure to again like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I finally got my goal of 3,500 subscribers. I finally cracked that goal after months. So thank you to those who recently subscribed to the channel and showed your new support and yeah, just support and new you know, fans to the channel. I really do appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into my tips. So getting into the first game, it is the Cowboys taking on the Sharks at Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. And yeah, the last time these two sides played, it was obviously a Sharks whitewash. They smashed the Cowboys down there at Shark Park last time in Cronulla. So the Cowboys would be wanting to get revenge from that last result they did play in this year. But yeah, you know, obviously this also has a bit of a meaning towards it because, again, this is, well, it's been a year now, and obviously it's a month where Paul Green tragically lost his life last year, and yeah, basically the Cowboys and Sharks will play for a medal, I think, or a trophy or a medal, not too sure, but it dedicates to Paul Green because he represented both clubs, playing and coaching, so very important and very nice by both clubs. But looking at the Cowboys team, a huge boost. They have Jeremiah Nanai back from injury, so he starts in the back row, or does he start in the back row? Yes, he does. And Jermaine Tanura-Brown's 18th man. Kyle Felt is named on the wing. With Murray Talangi set to play in the centres, veteran and prop James Tarmo is listed among the reserves as he looks to return from a long-term foot injury. And for the Sharks, forward Thomas Hazelton returns after missing round 24 with a concussion, so Jesse Colquhoun goes back to the bench in the only change for the squad. My tip for this game, it'll be close, I reckon. It'll go down to the wire. But I'm going to tip the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will get them here in Townsville. I know the Sharks, you know, they do tend to get up for the Cowboys, but I think Cowboys in Townsville should be enough for me. So I'll tip Cowboys by 4 in a close one. And first try, I'll go with Scott Drinkwater at fullback. Alright, onto a very big one for myself, and this is a huge game because I think if we lose this, our year's gone, but if we win, we're actually a chance still. So yeah, look, even though our season's practically over, this is a game that still can defy our season. So yeah, got to turn up and hopefully get a win on Friday, but we'll see what happens because the Warriors are playing fantastic footy this year. They're a side that, you know, is not to be underestimated in the way they're playing. You know, the Warriors are playing good footy this year, and they're a team that is often very dangerous at Mount Smart. They love playing there this year, and they have a good record at home. So yeah, we've got to be ready for that. So, but look, I can't wait to be there. Can't wait to make the long distance travel there. So yeah, it'll be exciting. Big vlog coming as well. But looking at both sides for the Warriors, Chance Nickel Cookstad is back from a concussion and he missed last week's game. So yeah, he'll be back for this game. And Wade Egan throat has been named despite spending the weekend in hospital. Bunty Afala comes into the front row in place of Mitch Barnett, who needed stitches for a laceration below the knee following the Tigers game. And for Manly, Brad Parker and Ben Trebojevic sitting out a week under the concussion protocols, which means Morgan Harper comes back into the team, replacing Parker in the centres. And Kelma Talangi starts in the back row, and Jake Arthur is the new face on the bench. So yeah, a few changes for Manly. Look, my tip for this game, well, obviously I back Manly, going to back them for the rest of the year, so it's going to be the same story going until round 27. But the Warriors probably should win this game, but I do hold some hope we could potentially cause an upset, but we'll see what happens. But I'll say Manly by 6, and first try scorer, he's too good. Let's go down with Tinis Lesniak. And now onto the main game on the Friday. It is the Eels taking on the Roosters at Commonwealth Stadium in Parramatta. So this game probably defies both sides of the season. So if Eels lose, they're done for the year. If the Roosters lose, they're done for the year. So this is a huge game. And wow, I reckon it'll be really tough to pick this one. I'm not sold on this game at all. So whoever wins, their season's alive. Whoever loses, their season's gone. So it's a huge, huge game. But looking at both sides, for the Eels, with Mitchell Moses gone for the season, which is a big blow for Parramatta, the responsibility of steering the ship falls to Dylan Brown and Dejan Arce. The return of Micah Sevo and Regan Campbell-Gillard from suspension provides a timely boost, but back rower Andrew Davey is set to miss the game under concussion protocols. And Campbell-Gillard's return allows Joe Ofahengawi to move the prop to lock to cover for Davey. And for the Roosters, World Cup winner Angus Crichton makes his return from a knee injury he suffered in round 17. So Dylan Arthur goes to the reserves, and Sam Walker has been named 18th man as he needs a return to the NRL. So that's good if Walker can play. My tip for this game, I don't know if you can call it an upset, but I reckon the Eels win this one. I just got a weird feeling that Parramatta might get up for this one and get the win. I know Roosters have been playing better footy recently, but I think at CommBank and the Eels knowing that their season's nearly done, but need to win every game to keep it alive, I think this is one they might get one over. So I reckon Parramatta by 4, and first try scorer will be Micah Sevo. On to Saturday afternoon footy now, the first game of 3. It is the Tigers taking on the Dolphins at CommBank Stadium. So, this is a game that means nothing for both sides, because last week when the Dolphins lost to the Roosters, that kind of cancelled their season for the rest of the year. And obviously the Tigers are sadly yet again locked in for another spoon in 2023, so they've got nothing to play for. But it'd be very interesting this game to see who actually gets up and wins. But it's a nothing game for both sides. But looking at both teams, Tim Sheens has the luxury of naming the same 17 that was pushing the Warriors last week. And same team it seems. And for the Dolphins will hit hard with HIA concerns and many other injuries against the Roosters. Corneli Lemuelu and Kenny Bromwich and centre Hamisa Tabuai-Fidow are all missing this week. So Jack Bostock and Robert Jennings are the new centre pairing. And Ewan Aikens slots into the back row, and he returns from a knee injury. So Jeremy Marshall-King is silent also with a shoulder injury. So Harrison Graham is the new hooker, with Ray Stone also out. JJ Collins joins the bench. My tip for this game, it's very tough to tell because I think Tigers are due for a win. And you know what? I'll back it as well. I think even though the Dolphins are, a bit more better, I think the Tigers will be desperate to get a win. And this is basically a Luke Brooks farewell game, because this is the Tigers' last home game this year. That's a Luke Brooks farewell home game, I think. So they might want to turn up for that one. So I'll go Tigers in a small upset. Tigers by 8. And first try scorer, going to go with Api Korosia. On to the second game of Super Saturday. It is the Titans taking on the Panthers at Seabus Super Stadium in the Gold Coast. And yeah, look, it's a nothing game for the Titans because their season's already done as well. So the only thing that they're playing for is to get some consolation wins for the rest of the year. But for the Panthers, they're still playing for a minor premiership. They want to win and finish first place in the ladder with the Broncos, obviously locked in for contention as well for the first spot. But no, look, it should be a interesting game, this one, I think. Panthers were pushed last week against my boys. Yeah, we pushed them. Didn't win though, sadly. But yeah, look, yeah, time will tell to see what the result of this one will be. But looking at both sides, for the Titans, AJ Brimson is listed among the reserves after he was a late scratching last week. Keanu Kinney has been named at fullback, with Jaden Campbell moving to 5'8" in place of Kieran Ford with a sternum injury. Thomas Weaver has been handed his NRL debut at halfback in place of Tanner Boyd, so I don't know if I'll get to see his debut, only because I might be going back from New Zealand to Sydney at the time. But yeah, I'll rewatch the highlights after, obviously. And then Moaki Fodawaker's return from suspension sees Tino Fa'asuamaleaui shift to lock and Aaron Clark shoulder drop out. And Klesi Haas has been promoted to the starting side. And Joe Simpson goes to the bench, and Jacob Alec is the new face on the bench. And for the Panthers, Jerome Luai and Mitch Kennedy are back this week. With Tyron Peachy, who goes to the centres, and Jack Hogger goes to 18th man, and Zach Hosking goes to the reserves. Yeah, my tip for this game, I can't go past the Panthers. I think Penrith will be too good in the Gold Coast, and I'll tip Penrith 13 plus. And first try for me, let's go Tyron Peachy too. And on to the final game of Super Saturday. It is the Dragons taking on the Storm at WIN Stadium, Wollongong. So, yeah, I don't know how this one will end, but I think the Dragons at Wollongong usually play okay. But yeah, I guess in recent performances they've been a bit unlucky, I'd say. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, look, with the Storm, I think Storm were near perfect last week against the Raiders, and I can only see them backing it up, to be honest. So we'll see what happens either way, though. Looking at both sides, for the Dragons, Zach Lomax returns from a shoulder injury, and prop Francis Molo is back from concussion in a double boost for the Red V. Molo's return sees his brother Michael move to lock, and Ben Masila to the bench, and Toby Couchman to 18th man. And for the Storm, Craig Bellamy has selected the same 17 as he would. My tip for this game, going to go to Storm here, have to go to the Storm. Melbourne 13 plus, and first try scorer Xavier Coates. On to Sunday afternoon footy now, the first game of two. It is the Knights taking on the Rabbitohs at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. So yeah, this is another really interesting game because I think Newcastle are on a roll at the moment, and obviously with 6 wins in a row, it's like it wasn't anything expected to happen. And no, look good on them. They're playing great footy, full of confidence, and gives them a good chance to make a run to the top 8. And for the Rabbitohs, look, their form has been a bit questionable recently. I will admit that, but winning against the Dragons, even though it wasn't pretty, it was still a win, and they'll take it. So. Yeah, you can only take what you get, but this should be a good game though. Looking at both sides, for the Knights, a huge boost for the Knights with Jackson Hastings been named to play despite suffering a syndesmosis injury. So, yeah, look, he's 50-50 to play, I think, but I think he'll play. And Braden Best returns from a adductor injury, so Inari Tawala goes to the reserves. And just the one change for the Rabbitohs, Michael Cheekan replaces Benjamin Lovitz on the bench. So that's about it. My tip for this game, it's very tough. I was tempted to go Knights because of their form, and yeah, and I think Newcastle with a big crowd and sold out too, which is huge. They could get up with this one, but I don't know. I think CS are very desperate to really make a run and show that themselves why they should be a bit more higher than what they are right now. I think Latrell will go off. I just have a big feeling he'll go off in this one. So I'll tip CS by 8, but not with much confidence, and I'll go Latrell for first try. And moving on to the final game now of the round, it's the Raiders and the Bulldogs at GIO Stadium in Canberra, wrapping up round 25. Yeah, well, this might be a very weird game, I think, because the Raiders have lost form recently and are very lucky to be still in the top 6 after the way they've been playing. So, yeah, they're on a bit of a decline, the Raiders. And for the Bulldogs, well, I don't know. It's getting worse for them. I just don't see much positivity in that squad, or 1 to 17 each week that play. So yeah, I don't know. Don't know what's wrong with them, but you know, I guess injuries have hurt them, but that can't be your only excuse though. But looking at both sides for the Raiders, favourite son Jared Croker returns from a hamstring injury in the centres. So last week's debutant Ethan Strange goes to the reserves, and James Schiller will play his third NRL game of the season. Joining the bench along with Tom Starling, the men to drop out Adrian Trevelyan and Sammy Sualo. And for the Bulldogs, Jacob Preston has been suspended for 2 matches for a hip drop. Taking his place, Corey Waddell, while Ryan Sutton returns from a neck injury at lock, and Luke Thompson goes to the bench. And RFM is the new man on the bench, with Harrison Edwards dropping to 18th man. Yeah, look, my tip for this game, I really do reckon the Raiders will be too good, but I think the Bulldogs are a chance. That they're a chance, but I think Canberra, I trust a bit more. So I think Raiders by 10, and first try scorer, I'll go with let's go Hudson Young in the back row. But that's my tips around 25 of the NRL. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to again like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as commenting your tips in the comment section down below. Love to hear what everyone's tipping for the weekend. But enjoy your round of footy, and yeah, hope your team wins.